Top 5 country with most number of gold reserved. Gold reserve is the gold held by a national central bank, intended mainly as a guarantee to redeem promises to pay depositors, note holders or trading peers, during the eras of the gold standard, and also as a store of value, or to support the value of the national currency. The World Gold Council estimates that all the gold ever mined, and that is accounted for, totaled 190,040 metric tons in 2019, but other independent estimates vary by as much as 20%. At a price of $1,250 per troy ounce, $40 per gram, reached on the 16th of August 2017, 1 metric ton of gold has a value of approximately $40.2 million. The total value of all gold ever mined, and that is accounted for, would exceed $7.5 trillion at that valuation and using WGC 2017 estimates. As of September 2021, the United States had the largest gold reserve, more than 8,000 metric tons of gold. This was more than twice the gold reserves of Germany and more than 3 times the gold reserves of Italy and France. China was ranked 6th for the amount of gold it has on reserve, but more gold is being mined in China than any other country in the world. While the share of gold reserves constituted 79% of the U.S. central bank holdings in 2021, in China this figure amounted to only 3.5%. While gold no longer serves as an object of exchange and as a confirmation value, gold remains an investment asset for governments and it could provide a safeguard against inflation or recession. The average price of gold reached a new record in 2021, as investors sought a safe haven due to the economic effects of the global coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. Top 5. Russia tons. 2,295.4% of foreign reserves. 22.0%. The Russian central bank has been one of the largest buyers of gold for the past 7 years and overtook China in 2018 to have the 5th largest reserves. In 2017, Russia bought 224 tons of bullion in an effort to diversify away from the US dollar, as its relationship with the West has grown chilly since the annexation of the Crimean Peninsula in mid-2014. To raise the cash for these purchases, Russia sold a huge percentage of its US treasuries. The increase in Russia's gold reserves was aided by a 26% surge in prices between June 2019 and June 2020. The central bank also bought $4.3 billion worth of the precious metal over the period, according to the report. Russia spent more than $40 billion building a war chest of gold over the past 5 years, making it the world's biggest buyer. The central bank said it stopped buying gold in the first half of last year to encourage miners and banks to export more and bring in foreign currency into Russia after oil prices crashed. Top 4. France tons. 2,436.0% of foreign reserves. 64.5%. France's central bank has sold little of its gold over the past several years. Current reserves consist of 100 tons of gold coins and the rest in bars weighing around 12.5 kilograms each. The Banque de France vaults in Paris are one of the 4 designated depositories of the International Monetary Fund (IMF). Former President of France Charles de Gaulle was partially responsible for the collapse of the Bretton Woods system when he called the U.S. bluff and began actually trading dollars in for gold from the Fort Knox reserves. Then President Richard Nixon, who knew that the fixed rate of $35 per gold ounce was too low, eventually was forced to take the U.S. off the gold standard, ending the dollar's automatic convertibility into gold. Top 3. Italy tons. 2,451.8% of foreign reserves. 69.3%. Italy has likewise maintained the size of its reserves over the years. Mario Draghi, the former Bank of Italy governor and European Central Bank governor, when asked by a reporter in 2013 what role gold plays in a central bank's portfolio, answered that the metal was a reserve of safety, adding, "It gives you a fairly good protection against fluctuations against the dollar." The Eurozone crisis led some to call for Italy's government to sell some of its gold reserves to raise funds, but no such plans ever materialized. Top 2. Germany tons. 3,362.4% of foreign reserves. 74.5%. In 2017, Germany completed a 4-year repatriation operation to move a total of 674 tons of gold from the Banque de France and the Federal Reserve Bank of New York back to its own vaults. First announced in 2013, the move was expected to take until 2020 to complete. Although gold demand fell in 2017 after hitting an all-time high in 2016, this European country has seen gold investing steadily rise since the global financial crisis. Germany keeps its gold reserves in the Deutsche Bundesbank in Frankfurt am Main, the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank branch in New York, and the Bank of England in London. Top 1. United States tons. 8,133.5% of foreign reserves. 77.5% with the largest official holdings in the world. The U.S. lays claim to nearly as much gold as the next 3 countries combined. It also has the third highest gold allocation as a percentage of its foreign reserves. From what we know, the majority of U.S. gold is held at Fort Knox in Kentucky, with the remainder held at the Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, San Francisco Assay Office and West Point Bullion Depository. Which state loves gold the most? Well, the state of Texas went so far as to create its very own Texas Bullion Depository to safeguard investors' gold. During the height of the Bretton Woods system of international exchange, when the U.S. offered to house other countries' gold in exchange for dollars, it was reported that between 90% and 95% of the entire world's gold reserves lay in American vaults. Decades later, the U.S. still holds the most. Gold makes up over 75% of its foreign reserves.